Hi, Russ here. Hey, welcome back to my shop. I want to do a follow-up on the holding power video I did. So this is another OTB Thinker video. And what I want to talk about is, in the holding power one, I made double-sided sandpaper. And I take those and I use them for holding pads when I put them under my pieces, like my inexpensive plastic holdfast. And I increase the amount of holding power on that fivefold, easy. So what I wanted to show you, though, is that's only the tip of the iceberg of what to do with your sandpaper pieces. I use it everywhere. I use it on the bottom of my push sticks. It has sandpaper here so that when I have my piece of wood, and this is the heel, and when it hits the heel, I'm still holding that nice and firm from up above with downward pressure because of the sandpaper against here. And that helps me hold it up against my fence as I'm also cutting it, so it helps me hold it even stronger than if this was just the wood surface to wood surface. So sandpaper, I use it here too, for holding power. What else? I use it on my grippers, remember? If you have to watch my gripper video, if you want to know what that's all about. I hope you go back and watch it. Anyway, also, I took and made a little dowel, and on my dowel I also put piece of sandpaper. So now I use this as a little push stick, and it's easy to hold little tiny parts. I even took and I put that directly on my erasers of my pencils. I have this little piece of sandpaper on there, and that helps me for pushing and holding things if I want to be a delicate hold on something. So I use the sandpaper in a lot of different places, but there's one place in particular I wanted to show you because I see it being missed constantly out there. And that is on moving parts. And a good example is an articulating arm, like for a camera hold. And you had the pivot point. And I've seen guys do that. I have a piece of wood here. I made my block here with an upright, and I got a 1/4-inch bolt that I'm putting through it. Now, this piece of wood has a piece of sandpaper glued to it on both sides on one end. The other end is the normal just wood. If I put the wood end on here, take a little 2 1/4-inch wing nut, 3/4 of an inch across here, nothing special, 1/4-inch thread, and I put it on there, okay? Now, if I take this, hold my pressure here with my thumb, that's how I regulate the torque on it, so that when I tighten it down until I cannot stop it from turning anymore, the pressure from my thumb. That's going to get me close to the amount of torque I get for every time I do this. With the wood-to-wood contact, I can take this piece and it just moves up and down without any real pressure. Take the same joint, and now all we did was take the sandpaper and put it on there to apply a little friction to our joint. And do the same thing. I tighten it up, holding this as tight as I can with my thumb, and I tighten this up until it starts to turn and I can't hold it anymore. There should be about the same amount of torque on my wing nut. But now watch this. The downward pressure, the upward pressure, it takes a lot to push that. Same joint, the only difference is I glued the sandpaper on there to increase the friction. Holding power. This is what I'm talking about. I watch guys making all the time. Camera dollies is a good example. And they have the articulating arm out here where they put their camera and everything, and they have the same problem. It doesn't hold very well here. And what do? Well, most of them will take, instead of using this nut, they'll go to a bigger bolt and they'll go to a real long arm to really torque down, make it tighter. But they continue to use this kind of joint instead of putting the sandpaper in between. If you're going to do an articulating joint, or if you're going to do a jig where you have a part that moves, and once you get it adjusted, you want to crank it down, and you want that to stay put, don't rely on your wood-to-wood contact. The amount of torque it takes to tighten that down is huge compared to if you do glue your sandpaper to one of your pieces so that you have that friction in between, and it'll be like night and day as far as the holding power. So next time you go to do something and it's a moving part, but you want them to get it to hold still, think outside the box. Try putting sandpaper in between there and seeing how much better the holding power is. I want to thank you for stopping by. Like this video. Don't forget to check like if you liked it. If you didn't, oh well, you can check the dislike. It doesn't bother me. But I do thank you for stopping by, and hopefully you'll come back again, because there's going to be lots more. You have a good day, okay? Bye.